For regular videos on ancient cultures and forgotten civilizations, please subscribe.
The sea has always hidden secrets of the ancient world. Storms, earthquakes, and rising waters swallowed whole cities, temples, and ships, leaving them buried beneath the waves for centuries. But today, archaeologists armed with new technologies are finding them again. I've gone through the reports from over the past year and picked out what I think are the top 10 ancient underwater discoveries of the past year. This is an ancient history channel, so I've chosen to concentrate on the ancient period. Join me as I count them down for you, starting with number 10. Submerged stone bridge in Genovesa cave. In 2024, a team of geologists and archaeologists working in Genovesa cave on the island of Majorca revealed one of the most surprising underwater finds of the year, a stone-paved path and bridge-like structure, now lying just over a meter below sea level. Researchers used underwater excavation, photogrammetry, and U-series dating of mineral growths to pin down when the structure was built, and that evidence points to construction between 8,000 and 7,600 years ago, during the late Neolithic to early Chalcolithic. Large limestone blocks were carefully fitted together to form a raised platform leading into the cave. The structure would have connected the shoreline to what was once a dry chamber inside, implying that the site was intentionally modified for human use thousands of years earlier than previously believed. Until now, the earliest confirmed human presence on Majorca dated to around 4,400 years ago. The Genovesa Bridge pushes that timeline back by at least a millennium, offering direct proof that people reached and settled the Balearics much earlier than expected. It also demonstrates fairly sophisticated stoneworking techniques at the time. Number 9. Roman breakwater at San Felice Cerchio. In June 2025, underwater archaeologists announced the discovery of a Roman breakwater off the coast of San Felice Cerchio, about 90 kilometers south of Rome. The find came during a survey of the seabed aimed at mapping submerged coastal infrastructure and clarifying the layout of ancient ports along Italy's western seaboard. Divers combined traditional excavation with photogrammetry and drone surveys to document the site in detail. And what they found was the submerged remains of a massive stone breakwater built of carefully placed blocks that once formed part of a harbor complex. Its submersion was the result of long-term coastal subsidence and rising sea levels, which over time drowned what had been a bustling port installation. The team also identified traces of associated structures that may have been warehouses or other service buildings connected with maritime trade. But this discovery is significant because it proves that San Felice Cerchio was home to a far more substantial Roman harbor than previously known. The breakwater's scale also demonstrates the engineering skills the Romans had to protect ships from rough seas, and it gives us insight into the infrastructure that supported Rome's maritime economy. Number 8. The 10,000 plate shipwreck. In late 2024, Dokuz Eylül University in Izmir, with the support of Turkey's Ministry of Culture and Tourism, launched the Blue Heritage Project, an ambitious initiative to document shipwrecks in the Aegean using multi-beam sonar scanning, robotic submersibles, and 3D photogrammetry. The project's goal is to catalog ancient trade routes and create a permanent digital archive of submerged cultural heritage. One of the most striking finds came when researchers identified a late 5th century CE merchant vessel lying about 40 meters deep off the coast of Ayvalık. When divers examined the site, they found an astonishing cargo, around 10,000 ceramic plates, dishes, and bowls, still clustered in stacks of 15 to 20, just as they had been packed more than 1,500 years ago. Alongside this massive tableware were a handful of amphorae, suggesting the ship had been carrying a mixed load, but dominated by everyday ceramics. Photogrammetry revealed the bulk of the cargo still lying undisturbed on the sea floor, protected by sediment. The discovery is significant because it represents the largest ceramic cargo ever documented on a shipwreck in the Mediterranean. It's evidence of large-scale ceramic trade in antiquity, and it reveals important shipping routes linking North Africa, Cyprus, and Anatolia. Number 7. The Adrasan ceramic wreck. This is another one from Turkey. In mid-2025, Turkey's Ministry of Culture and Tourism, under its Heritage for the Future initiative, began a systematic survey of underwater wrecks along the Mediterranean coast. The goal was to document, map, and excavate submerged heritage using modern technology. During this project, archaeologists located a remarkably preserved shipwreck near Adrasan off the coast of Antalya. Minister Mehmet Nuri Ersoy even joined one of the dives to inspect the sensational discovery firsthand. The site, lying between 33 and 46 meters deep, revealed a ship dating to the late Hellenistic or early Roman period, roughly the 2nd century BCE to 1st century CE. Hundreds of ceramic items, including plates, bowls, trays, and Eastern sigillato-ware, were found still neatly nested and coated in raw clay. This ancient packing technique preserved their vivid colors and surface designs almost perfectly. So this was similar to the last shipwreck I told you about, but this find is even more exceptional because, first, it provides unique insight into ancient cargo packing and shipping logistics for fragile commodities, and second, the pristine preservation of the ceramics gives us a rare and vivid look into classical daily life and production techniques. Number 6. More of the port of Asini. In October 2024, an international team of underwater archaeologists returned to the submerged site of Asini, near Tolo in the Argolid, as part of a multi-year research program directed by the Effort of Underwater Antiquities of Greece, in collaboration with the Swedish Institute at Athens and partner universities. Using high-resolution photogrammetry, the team set out to investigate a key sector on the northwestern edge of an artificial platform long thought to have been part of the city's ancient harbor. Their goal was to document the port's architecture in detail and recover material that could clarify its date of construction and use. The work revealed substantial architectural remains of the harbor infrastructure, including collapsed stone blocks and building fragments. The significance of these discoveries lies in confirming that Asini's harbor was more than just a simple quay. Here, there was a complex facility that may have included rooms or buildings on the platform itself. The finds help clarify Asini's role in maritime trade across multiple historical periods and highlight how sophisticated port engineering was part of Mediterranean commerce. Number 5. More of the Antikythera Shipwreck. Now, I'm sure you've heard of the Antikythera mechanism. It came from the Antikythera Shipwreck. The boat sank around 65 BCE. Well, investigation of that site is not done. In mid-2025, the Swiss School of Archaeology in Greece, backed by the Greek Ministry of Culture and the Effort of Underwater Antiquities, launched the latest phase of a 5-year excavation campaign at the Antikythera Shipwreck site. The mission's goals included retrieving newly discovered ship components and documenting them with advanced methods, such as closed-circuit rebreathers, underwater drones, 3D photogrammetry, and on-site GIS mapping, all to better understand ancient shipbuilding and life aboard such vessels. The expedition yielded striking new finds. Divers recovered 3 articulated fragments of the hull, which confirmed that the boat builders used the shell-first construction method. This was standard in the Mediterranean between the 4th and 1st centuries BCE. Analysis of the wood identified it as elm and oak, with preliminary dating around 235 BCE. Alongside the hull remains, archaeologists documented scattered Chian amphorae, along with a terracotta mortar, likely used by crew for food preparation, and fragments of a marble statue base, preserving the lower part of a nude figure. No new parts of the Antikythera mechanism were found, but this season's discoveries do give us rare physical evidence of ancient shipbuilding techniques and vessel structure, and deepen our understanding of maritime cargo composition and daily life aboard. Number 4. Archaic shipwreck at Santa Maria del Focallo. This summer, archaeologists from the University of Udine and the Superintendency of the Sea of the Sicilian region excavated a newly identified wreck off the coast of Santa Maria del Focallo, in Ispica, Sicily, even older than the last 3 I told you about. The discovery came during the 5th season of the Caucana project, which aims to reconstruct the coastal and underwater landscape of southeastern Sicily. Using excavation trenches, photogrammetry, and 3D modeling, the team recorded hull remains buried under sand and boulders just 6 meters below the surface. The ship dates to between the 6th and 5th centuries BCE, a period when Greek and Carthaginian forces contested Sicily's waters. Its hull is of the shell-built type, meaning the load was carried by the planks and not the frame. Although fragile after centuries of exposure to marine organisms, the vessel still preserves enough detail for technical and paleobotanical study. This find is significant because it provides direct material evidence of trade and naval traffic in the archaic to classical transition, when Sicily's colonies were at the center of Mediterranean geopolitics. It's one of the rare wrecks of this age studied in situ, and it offers new data on ancient ship construction, trade, and the contested seas of the central Mediterranean. Number 3, Baiae Submerged Bathhouse. In August 2025, archaeologists at Italy's Campi Flegrei Archaeological Park announced the discovery of a remarkably preserved Roman bath complex within the submerged ruins of Baiae, the luxurious resort town on the Bay of Naples. Divers employed 3D photogrammetry and stratigraphic recording techniques during a survey of Zone B, an area long suspected to contain private villas swallowed by the sea due to volcanic bradyseism. Their purpose was to better understand Baiae's urban sprawl and the scale of its elite residences. Well, the survey revealed a private bathhouse dating to the 1st century BCE. Preserved features include an intact mosaic floor with a hypocaust heating system underneath that once channeled hot air under the floor, as well as decorated wall plaster. A small circular chamber was identified as a laconicum, or dry heat sauna. Interestingly, the complex may have belonged to the villa of the famous Roman orator Marcus Tullius Cicero, though further study of associated ceramics and construction techniques is needed to confirm this attribution. This discovery matters because it gives us rare physical evidence of the opulent private leisure culture enjoyed by Rome's elite. Unlike the public baths found across the empire, this complex belonged to a private residence, and maybe to a famous person. It also demonstrates how Baiae continues to surprise archaeologists with new underwater revelations. Number 2, artifacts of the Abu Qir Bay. This year, Egypt's Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities, in collaboration with maritime archaeologists, initiated a new phase of underwater excavation in Abu Qir Bay, targeting areas just beyond the known site of Herakleion, also known as Thonis, and Canopus. The purpose of the mission was twofold: to advance research into the city's history and to secure artifacts for conservation and public display. Using sonar scanning, targeted diving, and remote-operated systems, the team found that these cities extended further underwater than previously known. Divers identified limestone foundations of stable buildings, a 125-meter-long quay, and the wreck of a merchant vessel. They also brought to the surface artifacts previously known, including a massive granite statue fragment measuring over 2 meters tall, though originally perhaps up to 5 meters, believed to date from the Ptolemaic or late Roman period. They recovered a quartz sphinx inscribed with the name of Ramses II and a marble figure of a Roman nobleman. The blend of Pharaonic, Ptolemaic, and Roman artifacts illustrates how the city stood at the crossroads of cultures and empires. This discovery is important because it expands our understanding of how far Thonis Herakleion's urban footprint once reached, and it marks the most significant underwater archaeological find in this region since the early 2000s. And number 1, Bronze Age Canaanite Shipwreck. During a maritime environmental survey in 2023, the energy company, Energean, employed an underwater robot to map the sea floor roughly 90 kilometers off the eastern Mediterranean coast. But the ROV's cameras came across something unexpected: a massive cluster of ancient jugs lying on the seabed. Enter the archaeologists. This past year, they retrieved 2 intact Canaanite amphorae. These are storage vessels used for transporting oil, wine, or food, while preserving the rest of the wreck in situ for further study. Although much of the ship's structure remains buried in sediment, sonar imaging and robotic surveys have confirmed its presence and the layout of its cargo strewn across the ocean floor. The shipwreck, lying 1.8 kilometers beneath the surface, dates to the late Bronze Age, around 1300 BCE. This find is groundbreaking. Not only is it the oldest known deep-sea shipwreck discovered in the eastern Mediterranean, but its depth and location fundamentally challenge previous assumptions. that Bronze Age mariners navigated only by hugging coastlines. Remember, this is 90 kilometers from the coast. Now it looks like they employed celestial navigation, using the sun and stars to traverse open seas some 3,300 years ago. The discovery rewrites our understanding of ancient seafaring and navigation capabilities. So there you have them, what I think are the 10 most exciting underwater discoveries of the past year. It just goes to show that much of the ancient world is still waiting for us beneath the waves. Next month, I'll surface a very different list, the creepiest ancient finds of the year. From unsettling burials to eerie artifacts, you won't want to miss it. So if you enjoyed this countdown, make sure you're subscribed.
You might like my little e-booklet, Why Ancient History Matters. It's designed to persuade people that the subject is important, even in the modern world. You might also wish to use it to help spread the word. So feel free to share it with someone you know. It's free for anyone who wants it. I've left a link in the description box below the video for you to grab a copy. Catch you later.